guys? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. My name is Annie. I welcome you to come into these tarot readings with an open heart, an open mind, and a desire to better yourself. This is optional advice or guidance meant to motivate you, empower you, inspire you, and offer you confirmations on things that you are already thinking and feeling and sensing. If you don't resonate with the material that comes through, please push those messages aside. They may resonate for you at a later date, and they may not. Have faith it's going out to someone who needs to hear it, even if it is not you. Use your logic, your discretion, your discernment. Separate what is meant for you and what is not. I come at this with love and positivity, so please take that away here today. You are responsible for all your own actions and decisions. Let's try and have some fun. To get you some insightful messages, check out that box below for the decks I use, how to contact me for a personal, as well as my social media links. Welcome to the tea party. Let's read your tarot cards. What's up, Aquarius gang? Welcome to your December bonus tarot. You're the only sign I'm doing bonus for right now because your December reading was kind of a lot. It was kind of weird. Again, the messages come through for a reason, so I have faith that some of you out there were meant to hear those messages. But if you watch that video and you're like, what is this? I'm right there with you. It was a weird message. So let's get you some bonus readings for fun. I'm going to do a little bit of love at the beginning, a little bit of career and finances. By all means, check out the December monthly I posted. It might speak to you. It might not. It was a very bizarre message. Anyway, but not judging, because for those who it resonated for, that's great. Hopefully it gave them something that they needed to hear. So anyway, tapping into the energy of my Aquarians out there. Ooh, did you see that pop? Interesting. Capricorn and Aquarius didn't come out. Possibly Capricorn and Aquarius soulmates. We'll see though. Let's see. Capricorn. Why am I saying Capricorn? Aquarius. It's because I'm looking at a Capricorn card. Let's set the intention for Aquarius. Messages for the Aquarians in the month of December, what they need to hear for their energy. Okay. Yeah, there's a victory with a Capricorn, possibly wife or mother material. So whether that you strongly resonate as that with possibly your Capricorn or your Aquarius. Let's see. Okay, so again, Capricorn. I'm quite literally hearing it's tricky. It's tricky with the Capricorn. Let's see. So some of you, if you are with a Capricorn, I do see a divorce, and it's almost like it's leading you into a... Let's look at it as a period of hibernation, right? The ground is frozen. There's a little bit delay. So maybe it's like you're getting yourself together. You're focusing on your own spiritual journey, and then you're going to hit the ground running maybe in the spring if you are looking for new relationships. For some of you, though, the timestamp could be Capricorn season, which does fall right around Christmas, whether you celebrate that holiday or not. Yeah, in fact, you may be getting an engagement ring from a Capricorn. And I know not all of you are dealing with Capricorns, but I'm really, truly seeing that message. Locking it down, offering you some sort of gift, but it's a substantial gift. It's a gift that has substance to it. It has longevity. It's that earth energy. And it's almost like I guess I did hear tricky, but I don't know why that's coming through. I don't know. It seems kind of magic. It's something that maybe you've manifested, or vice versa. This person has manifested you, and it's like all the tools come together, and they all fit. The pieces work together. I apologize, I'm not being eloquent, but it's like pieces of a puzzle that fit right. The master manifestor has all the tools on his table, and they must work together to create something great. So I guess that's the metaphor I'm going to stick with. You and maybe the Capricorn, possibly the Gemini, the Virgo, work together to create something great. And yeah, there could be major proposals or building upon what platform you guys have already established. The foundation rather, that could be escalating in the winter months, okay? It doesn't have to be a Capricorn, but let's pull a little bit more on that. See, this message to me was very straightforward. I just keep wanting to say the December monthly, it was just very odd. It was a very unusual reading, so anyway. All right, more messages. Okay, so a card of teamwork and building after a period of delay. So you guys may have had a moment where you were kind of, I don't know if it was questioning where you stood with your Capricorn, or you were just wondering, are they ever going to propose? Almost like getting a little bit impatient, like I'm wanting to move forward with you, but you're not making the moves with me. I think a lot of you, the Magician is the master communicator, right? Mercury energy communicating. They're communicating something very important, something of value, of substance, and it's a victory. It's a success. So if you dislike the person you're with, maybe you're moving away from them. But for a lot of you, I do see this to me says the Capricorn is actually quite high vibing. So yeah, I do like this message. And again, the card of teamwork, I like that quite a bit. They want to impress you, and some of the delay may be caused by the fact that they're a little bit insecure. Or they wanted to give you the perfect gift. They wanted to write you the perfect speech. They wanted to give you the perfect ring, or, buy you the perfect home, or whatever it is. I'm not saying they're trying to buy you monetarily, but they want to impress you, because I think it has to do with how they feel about themselves. If they're going to make you an offer, they want to make you a really good one, right? They don't want to give you something lackluster and half-hearted. I see them, I see the ring shopping, window shopping. For me as a reader personally, 7 of Cups, when it's like relationships moving on to the next level. Not most tarot readers see that this way. I personally do. I see this as wanting to lock it down and like go in on the emotions, invest further in your person. Like double down on what you're feeling, and you do that by offering some sort of commitment. Deciding. But so there is some decision factors here. I do see some waiting. I see like 3 of Wands. The Hangman didn't come out, but I did see it. This definitely has a lot of like wifey, mothery type energy. So again, that may resonate for you in many areas of your life. I don't know if your mother is particularly fond of this person that you're engaged to, or I don't even know. This person could have even asked permission of your mother, or maybe they got a ring from your mother or something of the sort. Aquarius. Let's throw some romance angels on this. Oh, and the roses. All right. We'll throw some oracles on it first. And of course, guys, this is one message, right? This is a bonus reading, so only take it if it resonates. There may be a difference in your faith or your spiritual background, and I'm not sure why it's coming up, but there may be some sort of discussion on where to get married. I'm sort of getting like in a church versus like, something a little bit more casual or informal, or not as closely connected to someone's religion or faith. That may have come up for some of you. Distance from the thief. I don't know what that is. Mistakes or worry. Yeah, this person does have like a lack of confidence because they really want to impress you. And I will say this, no matter what zodiac sign you're dealing with, though this has earth energy all over it, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, this person puts too much emphasis on the price tag of what they're wanting to offer. It's not that they're necessarily materialistic or greedy, but they feel they best express themselves when they give you some sort of gift. But again, in their mind, this isn't true, but the way they perceive it, it has to be huge. It has to be a sports car. It has to be, you might be dealing with a Sagittarius. There's something very bigger is better. And again, especially a Sag Cap cusper, it's almost like they're confusing what they give, like the amount of they give to you. They want that to be reciprocated in your love. But again, there's confusion about that. I know I'm not being super eloquent there, but I hope that makes sense. They need to stop looking at love in terms of a price tag, but really the authentic emotion, because this person might not actually be good at expressing their emotions. And okay, that's the key for me. That makes sense. That's why they go to these grandiose gestures. Even if they're a very frugal person, there's something to do with their love language essentially is giving, but it's giving in a way that it's not necessarily displayed with a lot of emotion, but it packs a lot of tangibility. A very interesting message. Deciding between two. For a lot of you, if you are dating around and this isn't anywhere close to being a marriage commitment, it could be that you're dealing with someone who they're finally making a decision on who they're going to pick. And I'm not necessarily saying there's infidelity. I'm not necessarily saying that, though I'll be honest, for a few of you, that could be the case. But I'm not really getting that in marriage, to be honest. I don't really see that. I see it more like you guys are dating around, and while you're maybe putting your eggs in one basket, this person is kind of keeping their options open. I actually see that closing out, so tell me a little bit about that. Because you do have a couple cards indicating possible third party. 3 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, and then the 2 of Pentacles. But that's what I mean. It's going from 3 to 2. So the decision is being made. And how does this impact Aquarius? I mean, for most of you, the fact that like the wedding cards came out first, or again, locking it down to greater commitment, I feel like for most of you, it's going to swing in your favor, possibly with a Pisces or a Scorpio as well. And some of you, it's just confirming if you're with someone and actually committed, but not necessarily Well, it's complicated though, guys. I'm getting a couple messages. For some of you, you're wanting to move into a greater level of commitment, and you may be trying to talk about marriage. And if you're constantly being shut down and iced out, and your intuition is starting to tell you, I feel like there's like a third party here. For some of you, it's confirming what you already know, that yeah, maybe you're dealing with someone who's a little shady. That's not for all of you though. And I know that's confusing, but I have to be honest, I'm getting a few different messages here, so you have to trust your gut. Others of you, it would involve a long distance travel or something of the sort. Like if you guys are going to move in together, it may put your person at a further distance from their job or from their commute. So something about finally settling where you guys are going to live or reside. Somebody, it's like you have to move further away from your family or something of the sort. There's contemplation about the travel that would be necessary in order to make this team work, in order to get this project up and off the ground. And so again, some of you, it's like if you're just casually dating, but you're interested and you're hoping your person picks you, essentially. Again, with the earth sign, I'm getting a lot of earth sign. Heart-to-heart conversations, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Okay. What about okay, so tell me for the Aquarius. If Aquarius is engaged in some sort of situation where they're feeling like they might not be the only one in the picture, if they're even considering moving forward with this person, because some of you, you're like, I won't be a third party, and that's cool, that's fine, set your own boundaries. But again, I'm not necessarily thinking it's cheating. For a lot of you, again, it's like you're on the dating apps, it's no secret, everybody's having 5 different conversations, right? That's sort of how I take this. So in terms of narrowing it down to this person picking Aquarius, you may actually have a different offer coming in, especially from a Scorpio. Okay, so the reason why this person isn't committing as soon as you would like, again, in the dating scenario, is because they still have an ex that they're holding on to, but it's done with the ex. The ex isn't in the picture, but they're emotionally attached to the ex, in which case, eventually, once they heal their own heart, once they do some introspection and sort of some internal healing, then they'll be ready to move forward with a solid offer. But yeah, if you're dating someone casually and it's like, again, you're kind of interested, but they're kind of taking their time, it's because their heart is still healing. But I don't really think it's a third person. I'm just not getting that. It's like their shadow side, as much as they want to step up and be confident and be the magician and, embrace a new love life, embrace a new spiritual partner. It's like their shadow side starts creeping up and reminding them of, oh, but remember the ex? Remember what the ex did to you? It's like, it's like the lower vibrational side of them. They're trying to bridge the gap of loss in their life. Now, again, for some of you, if you guys have been together for many years and it seems like it's time to get married and for a fact your partner is open to at least discussing it, maybe not with a certain timeline, but you feel like that idea has been reciprocated, it might just be saying there's been a recent loss in their life. They could have lost a parent or lost a pet or a best friend or something of the sort, right? In which case their heart is healing, but they do want to make the offer, but they want to do it at a time where they're emotionally ready to do it. Especially your Virgo. All right, so let's see. If Aquarius is here waiting on something, what can they expect? Spread here. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Yeah, I like that. I think a lot of you are already with someone very solid, or you're about to be. But again, it's Earth. Let's just call a spade a spade. Earth signs can be quite slow moving, but they're very responsible. They're very practical. Usually, if they tell you something, they'll make good on that promise. They'll do it. They don't just talk the talk; they walk the walk. But they're not running. They're moving along at their own pace. So you're gonna have to have patience, Aquarius. But for some of you, this seems like it could engage to something much, much greater. Yeah, the Virgo is going to be flying in with communications, and some of you may have a new Virgo or an Aries that starts messaging you, particularly in dating apps. The Gemini is a little bit scatterbrained right now. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure where the Gemini stands. That has a lot of mystery surrounding it. It might be going cold with the Gemini. They may cut you off or they may go cold on you in the dating apps. Of course, not all your Geminis, right? You might be dealing with multiple ones, but yeah, there's one Gemini in the mix who it's like they're all over the place. They can't choose one. They want to have everybody. Worth waiting for. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Last but not least, religious factors. Your love life is being influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. I do see that being a conversation. I don't think I'm going to jump to the term argument, because I really don't see argument. I see contemplation about marriage plans. Do we get married on my side of the country or your side of the country? Well, my parents can't travel, or my mom needs this. I see discussions regarding like marriage plans of where you're gonna say your vows, or how you're gonna deliver the vows, and maybe it has to do with what's going on globally. Like, are we gonna have a big wedding? We really can't. So do we want to dance? Like, planning or pinning down details of a wedding is all over this. Again, it's going to be a process, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. Like, quite literally worth waiting for. So, all right, Aquarius, that's what I got for you for love. Let's talk about your career. Hopefully these messages are making more sense than the other one. In fact, I kind of blame the deck, to be honest. I used a new deck and it wasn't, I don't know. I mean, whatever. Let's talk about career and finances. For Aquarius, in the month of December, what does Aquarius need to know about their career and finances? Give me a storyline here. Career and finances for Aquarius. Yeah, you have to make a head over heart decision. A lot of you, I see you pursuing something more in an artistic field, an artistic career, especially with music. But it's gonna be a journey, but if you're committed to it, you will succeed with flying colors. But this is saying put on your brave face. In fact, that's a great song. That's a Frank Turner song. Do you guys listen to Frank Turner? Put on your brave face, honey, your brave face. It's so good. Some of you are going to be moving into love with a Taurus. Some of you are going to be walking away from a Pisces and towards a Taurus. Some of you may be entering into a new chapter of life regarding marriage or partnerships or even business contracts with a Pisces or a Taurus. Specifically a Pisces, though, I see in business. Yeah, okay. A lot of you are headed to work in some sort of more artistic career, even something more spiritual, like religious music or spiritual music, or I don't know if it's poetry or singing or even like interpretive dance. But it has like it's laced with spirituality. So I'm just going to say that. I hope that makes sense to some of you. Some of you are going to I'm sort of seeing someone like leading a church choir or something like that. I don't know if you're a music instructor or a vocal coach. You could even be a speech therapist or like conducting the symphony, conducting the orchestra, conducting the students, music teachers or something of the sort. I see a lot of that here. I see it several times over. And then I'm seeing something about an antenna wire like coming out of a roof. I don't know. Are you going to be broadcasted? Do you have some show that's broadcasting, or, in more generic terms? Like this tarot speaks in symbolically, like in metaphors, but it could be that you're launching a website, like you're going viral, your YouTube channel, your whatever. You could be like a social media sensation, particularly if you play guitar. Any instrument really, but especially if you have like a YouTube studio or YouTube studio. You don't understand what I mean, or any type of studio, but if you have a YouTube platform or any type of social media platform where you specifically are playing guitars, your own original songs, or even covers, I see you finding common-minded people. Is that the right term? Like-minded people. There we go. And there may be a future collaboration simply based on the independent work you're doing yourself. If you're committed to that path and taking some risks in terms of putting yourself out there. There's someone who's going to connect with you, and I'm sort of getting someone may want to hire you for that skill or talent, even as just a one-off. You may get hired to play, like, I'm sticking with the musicians thing. It certainly doesn't have to be that, but the metaphor still stands, or the storyline essentially. They may pick you out to perform at the wedding, perform at the church, something about music in church or whatever. You may get recruited to take part in some sort of job or with some sort of corporation. I am sort of getting a temp position. I don't know if it's long-term. Initially, I think you might enjoy it, but I think the longer you stay there, you're going to realize that you sort of have to compromise or sacrifice your ultimate dreams. Or it's like the ultimate end goal isn't necessarily in this position you get hired for, but it's not necessarily saying don't take it. It's just like if you go in, make sure the longer you're there, you eventually start to plan your exit strategy. And I hope that's not a confusing message. I think there's something valuable to be gained there, but it's not where you're going to end. Like it's a chapter in your career. If even that, I don't even know if I'd call it that. Again, as I see temp, see like 6 months to a year, you may work here. It could be like it's almost something like an internship or a contract hire position. You may be invited to stay longer, but I think ultimately you're going to tend to want. It's like, yeah, it's too heavy to carry. Like it's too much of what I don't want. And like, I'm really compromising what I'm out here to do. So again, it's not like there's any bad blood or baggage or difficult relationships with people there. I think someone kind of picks you and like, hey, come work for me. I like what you did here or whatever. I think you could add value to my company. I think you could probably pursue it for a bit, but ultimately I do see it ending. But I do want to underscore that's not a reason to take it. Sometimes you just kind of got to mix it up and try something new, knowing that it's not your, forever home or your forever place. But yeah, there's like a good networking ability there. Like you may meet someone who's very influential in your career later, especially if you're an actor. You may be going back to acting school or taking theater classes or even just doing something like community theater. And obviously, I know times are weird right now, guys. I'm not saying rush out and join some big group of people because it's not safe to do that right now. But again, sometimes these will resonate for you in the future, so just keep that in mind. There's huge potential for this opportunity, so whatever it is, even though I don't see it as lasting, I see it as temporary or contract, I think you would enjoy it and there would be something to be gained there. It could be something spiritual, something creative, something that will add growth and positivity to your career path. But again, it will almost like bounce you in another direction. Like there's an offshoot. After this job, there's an offshoot where you may end up working with the same person or you know how you like networking. You understand what I mean. Anyway, okay, so that's another message. Switch decks. Seven of Cups. And there's something here too with this message that if you are in a relationship that is pretty sturdy, well put together, there may be an opportunity that comes your way, but it would involve traveling. And so you're sort of having to make a head or heart decision. Because I sort of get the impression that you have to move, and it would be to move towards something you're very excited to pursue. Again, lots of artsy, entertainment, acting type stuff, if that makes sense. But it doesn't have to be. It could be, a opportunity to be a professor at some university in Colorado and you live in New York. Do you understand? Like, there's something about, it's a really great opportunity, but it would require a certain amount of commitment on your part to fully move towards it. I see there being a conflict or an issue with your person wanting to join you on that path. So quite frankly, some of you may choose to put down the relationship and pursue your dreams. Others of you, I think you're going to have to work to negotiate with your spouse or whoever this is about, well, listen, I'm really passionate about that and I need to give it a try. So, it's up to you what option. You may try doing long distance relationships. To be honest, I'm being completely transparent, I don't see long distance love relationship working in that particular scenario. I think it would end up straining the life that you each have individually. I feel like it would become more of a chore and a burden rather than something you look forward to. Like, FaceTiming at the end of the day, it would be like, babe, like I'm exhausted. Can we do it tomorrow? Only that becomes, so then it's like, well, why are we even doing this? Others of you might convince your person to go with you, in which case I think that would be the better move. I think your relationship would stand more success if they came with you. But that in itself has a lot of question marks. It has a lot of baggage. If they move there and they aren't happy, are they going to resent you? Are they, you know what I mean? So I don't have the clear answer here. But yeah, so for some of you, I think universe is saying if you're not fully in this emotionally, you may want to cut it off so that way you're not carrying it around into this, what could be a really beautiful next chapter of your life. There you are. You're the star. I love this depiction. This is one of my favorite star cards. So I don't have a ton of pentacle cards here. I know you guys are like, tell me about the money. So let's ask. Tell me about Aquarius's money. Into the future, quite literally into the future I'm seeing. So it might be a little bit stagnant right now. And again, I'm seeing spotlights on a stage or possibly working with children like kindergarten age. Something about the swing set. I don't know if you guys have children or kids, you might be, I don't know if you just bought your kids a swing set or something about a swing, a tire swing, a playground. I don't know what to do with that. Anyway. Money for Aquarius. What is the projection looking like? It's a little stagnant. A lot of you are going to turn your back on what you currently have or your current position, your current title, whatever it is. You're going to pursue something new. Well, actually, before I say that, it's not new. It's from the past, but you haven't visited it in a while. So it's funny. I said the same thing to Sagittarius in their career. I think there's a lot of fear and anxiety about getting back into something that didn't work out the first time. It's like, I tried to be a painter, but nobody ever bought my prints, and it seems like a waste of time. I spent all this money on an art degree, and I'm done with that chapter in my life. But I think deep down, you're not done with it because it's always in the back of your mind. Like, I wish I had tried one more time to do the thing that didn't work out. I think a lot of you, simply for peace of mind, you're going to revisit some skill or talent or hobby, or again, possibly a job you did 10 years ago, and for some reason or another, it didn't work out. And it's not to say you were a failure at it. It wasn't as successful as you had anticipated or hoped, or, life happens. There may have been some circumstance where it wasn't succeeding at that moment in time. I think a lot of you are going to revisit it this time, and it's good. It's a good thing because it scares you. A lot of you are like, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I'm ready to do that. I gave Sagittarius the metaphor of like being in a band, like, oh my God, I haven't picked up my guitar in so long. Like, I don't know if I'll be able to play the way, like, you should do it. You should do it anyway. Especially with your Pisces. It's like riding a bike. That's the metaphor I'm kind of getting. It's like it's going to feel new and different at first, but then once you do it for a couple days or whatever, a couple weeks, you're going to ease right back into it, and it's going to be so much fun. It's going to bring up just this swell of passion. Almost like that, like childhood innocence is what I'm getting. It's fun and I love it. It's like a kid in a candy store. That's how you're going to feel, a lot of you. A lot of my Aquarians are almost going back in time and revisiting something they did either in their youth or early on in their career that either you dropped or you abandoned, or, maybe you got fired from that job, but it doesn't mean it was the ending of that cycle. It was just the ending of that position. A lot of you, I just heard rollover. I don't know if that's a term you use in your line of work, the rollover, I don't know. You're going back to it. I see a lot of you doing that. And the thing is, it's almost like what you would perceive as, despite my better judgment, like this isn't necessarily logical, but I feel compelled to do it. Well, then it's logic if it's your intuition. Like that's source, that's the divinity communicating with you. Empress. Some of you are going to be mommies, motherhood. You might be working with mothers or working with females, family planning, stuff like that. Yeah, it's fun. Some of you are going to travel abroad. Again, when it's safe. I don't know when. I just see it in the cards. Traveling abroad. Some of you are going to buy a kitten, or you already did. Some of you just bought a kitten, and it's saying, well, that's awkward because you're going to have to travel now, so you better find someone to watch your cat. It's like, your mother will do it. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, a lot of you have a travel opportunity coming up in the future, especially to do something creative, particularly photography or videography. Yeah, you're going to have to find a pet sitter then because you're not going to be in your house a whole lot. And then something about a lucky rabbit's foot. Lucky rabbit's foot. I don't know. Do you have one of those? Does somebody you know have one of those? You're transforming into the person you were always meant to be. You're getting there. I know some of you feel really lost right now, and it's saying you're exactly where you're supposed to be, but make sure you're honoring your inner truth and your intuition. I do see something here with the medical field, but for most of you, I feel like you are falling out of love with it, especially doing something like science or research in a laboratory. I think you guys are burnt out and exhausted. And again, you may be going from the very straight and narrow, or, what we view as like, adulting, professional, traditional careers, right? And I'm not impeding my opinion on that. It's just, if you're a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, that's good, and it absolutely served you. A lot of you are kind of foraying into something a little bit different, a little bit a-traditional, the starving artist type metaphors, right? And I'm not saying that's going to be true. I think that's why you walked away from something originally, is because it wasn't lucrative. You couldn't support yourself doing it. And so, again, you don't have to look back and regret. This to me is saying you made the moves how you had to make them, but it doesn't mean that opportunity won't exist for you in the future. I see you are bridging a gap between past and present, or past and future. It's like you're at the crossroads now, and you can continue to pursue what you're pursuing. I'm not saying don't. I think more than likely, universe is saying make time for that thing that you still absolutely have love for. In metaphor, it's almost like your little baby, your little child. Care for it the way you would a child. So nurture that skill, nurture that talent, because it could actually grow into something that becomes lucrative in the future. But you have to take like the baby steps to start putting that into action, to start getting there. I do see a lot of you walking away from like studious professions, or like lots of degrees. I see some of you went back to school several times, and you may have astounding resumes and an astounding background. You may have switched careers several times, and they're all very They're all very promising. Again, very intellectually driven, Aquarius. But I don't know if you're actually happy doing that. And so some of you may have realized that you were living out your mother's dream or living out your father's dream, or someone was maybe projecting their ideals onto you, not necessarily in an oppressive way, but you may have absorbed what somebody else wanted. And this is like a transitional period of you being that true Aquarian energy of liberation of the mind, intellectual freedom. You're like, oh, I'm finally starting to think for myself and it feels great. So, whether you're 18 or, 48 or 68 or whatever age you are, what I'm saying, it doesn't matter when this happens. It's just important that it did happen. There's a sense of intellectual freedom when you start to honor your truth versus another's, or trying to be overly like a people pleaser. I see you breaking away from that, especially in your career. Some of you have a very beautiful, loving mother, but she might be a little bit of oppressive in terms of forcing her perspective onto you. And I think a lot of you are distancing yourself from that, but it doesn't mean you guys can't work through this issue, right? I'm not getting like evil, malicious vibes. And it could even be your mother-in-law too, which is why some of you are like, I'm not sure I want to have kids, because you're questioning the family dynamics on your partner's side. It's fine, Aquarius. Don't let that stop you. Yeah, that's your shadow side. Don't live in fear. Don't live in regret. Live in the now. Live in the moment, right? What is that expression they say? If you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. If you're at peace, you are living in the moment. That's good advice for you. And some of you are pregnant and you're gonna give birth possibly to a Sagittarius or possibly a baby girl. I see that happening. Oh, wait, my computer went away. Come back. We still there? We're good. Okay. You don't have a lot of pentacles. I see transitions in your career or maybe possibly titles, but I hardly have any pentacles to tell you about, Aquarius. So maybe that's why your career reading was kind of wacky the first time around too, because anything else regarding money? Should we switch decks? Anything else for my Aquarians regarding money? Possibly the Taurus, something with a connection with the Taurus. You might be moving in with a Taurus, whether it's your roommate or your romantic partner, even your mother, your family. You might be moving in with a Taurus to save money, combining living spaces. Some of you may have to sell the car or something about car repairs. Again, money might be going to those things, but I don't see it rolling into your bank account. I see you more spending it, paying bills, paying rent. Money for Aquarius. Again, something about science equipment, laboratory equipment, anything in the medical field, a nurse practitioner, a visiting nurse. Again, I see you succeeding in that. It doesn't look like it's not paying your bills, though maybe some of you have a lot of student loan debt. I could see that. I feel like you guys are burnt out. It's not that it doesn't support your life. It doesn't support your joy and your happiness. And yeah, I think a lot of you are spending more time investing in what brings you passion, what brings you joy, what allows you to enjoy your life. You're at a bit of a standstill because it's like a head over heart decision. A lot of you chose to go with the more practical career, but unfortunately you've come to realize, not unfortunately, but you've come to realize it doesn't really do it for me. And so a lot of you are going to slowly start to transition away from that and incorporate more of your side hustle, build your website, build your side business. Some of you are just going to take a huge leap of faith and jump immediately. I'm hearing over the pond. You might be going to England or across a body of water to pursue a different degree or pursue a different lifestyle. You may meet someone in transit and travel, again, especially a Sagittarius. a lot of single moms out there. I see that vibe coming through a lot. You may be working with pregnant mothers or an adoption agency. You may be working with younger children, students, especially, what do you call that? Like foreign students who come in. There's like a term for that. I don't know if you're teaching them a foreign language, or maybe that's what you're doing to pay your bills overseas. Can't you do that? Be like an English translator or something? I don't know what that is, Aquarius. Anyway, that's coming through in the cards. Again, no pentacles. I got no pentacles. There might be marriage with a fire king, an Aries, Leo, Sag, especially same-sex couples. I'm seeing a lot of male energy here too. And yeah, some of you are like monkey in the middle between what your father wants you to do and what your mother wants you to do. And one I see being far more sympathetic in terms of, well, just do what's in your heart. Do what you want to do. There's another parent who's been like, no, you have to do this. You need to be responsible. And I see you like, it's like you're trying to please too many people. There's too many cooks in the kitchen when it's like, you're the chef. You get to make the executive decisions of your life. You should reach out to your fellow Aquarian friend, or you're a male air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, maybe particularly a fond person in your life, a friendship, a mentor, a counselor of some kind, because they're going to offer you a helping hand, or they're going to offer you some very valuable insight about your path moving forward. Yeah, that's what I got for you. I don't have any money cards. I'm sorry. I'll pull some oracles for you though. That was much more cohesive, Aquarius. I enjoyed that one more, just personally as the reader. But oh, I put my oracle cards away. Damn. All right. Well, let's do one of these. Let's do one of these wacky ones. Why not? For Aquarius, what does Aquarius need to know for Aquarius? Aquarius. Baby steps. Hey, we just said that. That always makes me think of the movie What About Bob? Baby steps off the bus. Baby steps to Dr. Leo Marvin's office. Baby steps. Everything is baby powder fresh right now. It's new, it's exciting, and of course, you're not quite sure how it's going to work out. You're not supposed to. It would ruin the surprise. But go ahead, take the first step. All great quests have got to begin somewhere. You did have a lot of babies coming through. Are you married to a Taurus? Are you going to give birth to a baby Taurus or something? There was a lot of baby metaphors and children, so maybe some of you are going to be mommies. Maybe you're locking it down with your Capricorn. I don't know. And then 52, hasta la vista, baby. I can only guess what this is going to say. Let's go ahead and read it. 52. I actually like this deck. It's pretty cool. Okay, hasta la vista, baby. Remember that song Queen Elsa sings in the Disney movie Frozen when she unleashes her magic? Well, if you didn't catch this animated flick, it's time to let it go. Walk away just like you never looked. Walk away, and just like you never looked back at the trash can, you leave at the curb. Don't give it a second glance. It's time for a new beginning. Out with the old and in with the new. Hollywood. That's what I see there. Hollywood. All right, Aquarius, that's what I got for you. Please hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends, and I will see you very soon for mini sips, or Little Sips Mini Love Tarot. I know what I'm talking about. It's fine. See you next time.